Hello dear students, in the previous class I gave you introduction of business organization. What kind of business we can select and how many types of business are there. Now we'll see today factors influencing the choice of suitable form of organization. What makes us to select the right organization? What are the factors we have to consider before starting any kind of organization? That we have to see today. So it's very simple, few things you have to remember, then easily you can select what is the good organization, how we can start, what are the factors to be considered before selecting that you can select it easily. So what are the factors? First one is that capital requirement. Capital, how much is required to start a business? That's very much important. Especially if you want to start a small business by yourself, capital will be less capital is required. If you want to start in large scale, then you need much capital. You can see best example as fruit sellers, vegetable vendors, and even grocery shop, normal medical shop. All these people, they require less capital because at one place their investment is also very less. Whereas if you see the companies, big multinational companies, they require large number of capital because their capital, their manufacturing, their process, everything will be in huge large quantity, and they require even the manpower also more. Manpower, material and place, building, equipment, machinery, so all these things, everything should be in large. So that is why they require more capital. So you have to decide what is the capital you are having, what is the capital you are you would like to accumulate. Then according to that you can decide which organization you can start, which business you want to start. So that is why first one is that capital. If capital is there, then you can consider the other aspects like liability. In some organizations like private organizations like sole proprietor and also partnership, their liability will be always limited to the capital what they have accumulated. Suppose I am a sole trader or a partnership business, I am into partnership business. If I am accumulating a capital of 1 lakh rupee, my liability is limited not only to the 1 lakh, also my own properties also. If there is a huge loss, I have to bear even my own properties also. Means liability is unlimited in sole proprietor and partnership. Whereas if you go to the government organizations and also public companies, their capital is limited up to the investment only. If I invest 1 lakh, if the company is under loss, only 1 lakh risk will be there, not my own property. Like liability you have to consider. So according to that you can take a decision. And third one is the managerial needs. Managerial needs means how many members are required to take out or work out for the business. So that is managerial needs. If the business is small, perishable goods like vegetables and or otherwise fruit, something you are selling, no need of much manpower. Only one sole proprietor is more than enough to handle it. If the organization is big, they need more manpower. And manpower also in different levels like lower level management, middle level management, upper level management, and laborers, all these people, different strategy is required. So that is why you have to decide managerial needs. How many members are required to run the business. And third one is continuity. So is it possible to continue the business for long period? That you have to decide. If it is a small business like sole proprietor, whenever they feel that it is not going to work out, you can just shut down the business and start new business. That possibility is there. Even in partnership also, if they feel that organization is not going to work out, business is not going to give much profits, then they can just shut down. With the mutual understanding, they can just close it or they can start new business. Whereas in some organizations like public companies where investment is huge, they have to continue though there is a loss. Winding up process is also very tough. They have to follow different kinds of stages, and liability officer will be there, and all this process we'll see later anyway. So when you see the continuity point of view also, you have to decide. So organization is going to run in long run or short period. Next, tax liability. Tax liabilities you have to consider. If you see the sole proprietor or partnership, tax will be less because always government want to encourage these kind of people to the to enter into the business, to start their own business. So that is why their tax will be always less. And if you see big companies, the more big company, more tax government is going to impose on them. So the tax also you have to consider it, and how do you manage it, how do you handle it, how do you pay the tax. So this is also one of the factor before starting the business you have to consider. Next one is that government regulations. Government regulations also, it's more on few businesses and it's less on few businesses. Government regulations are very much strict, and there are different formalities it has to be fulfilled, especially by the joint stock companies, private companies also. But if you go to the partnership and sole proprietor, it will be very less, and they need not to worry about the regulations and all these things. Very easy formation, easy disclosure, easy way to handle the business. That kind of consideration is given by the government. So government regulations are less for the private organizations, private business like sole proprietor and partnership. For others, there is a lengthy process. They have to follow company law rules, registration, and they have to appoint even some people also to form the organization, to run the organization, to continue the organization. So that's about the government regulations. Next one is that nature of business activities. What kind of business we are doing? The nature of that business is also very much important. If the nature of business is in long run, you have to work out, then you need to be very careful. And the business is in such a way that anytime you can shut down. It doesn't make much difference. It doesn't make much difference on your liability or your capital, or risk factor is less. That kind of business if you start, that's easy. So like you have to see the nature of the business activities. Next, relationship between ownership and management. Every business, please remember, a good relation is very much required. Only in sole proprietor and partnership, there will be good relationship between the business owner and customer, because direct link is there. Directly they are linked with each other. So there will be very good link. If you go to the companies, no link at all, because it's a lengthy process. Level 1, level 2, level 3, like many people are involved in the business activities, and customer is somewhere, management is somewhere, there will be very less interaction. And even shareholders, if you see the companies, the shareholders also will be having very less minimum interaction, because the company want to take decisions, the company want to do any kind of activities, they won't be involving for minor activities to the shareholders. So that is why interaction will be very less in big organizations. Small organizations, transparent and direct link will be there. Next one is that easy information. Easy information is especially possible in sole trader only. Sole trader, next partnership, because it's their wish. Suppose I want to start any business. Location searched, material accumulated, immediately I can start. I need not to fulfill the formalities or something, or taking the license. All these things are not required. And whereas big organizations, they have to fulfill. So their work, their formation will be always lengthy. And next one is the flexibility. Few organizations, business activities will be always flexible, because their business is in such a way that anytime they can just make alterations, they can make changes, they can adopt the new methodologies. And whereas some organizations, it's very difficult, because they have already purchased a very big equipments and they have to follow, they have to just go ahead. So this kind of organizations, flexibility will be less. And last one is that stability. You have to consider stability, very important aspect before forming. So stability point of view, where organization activities are always in demand, that kind of activity, that kind of business you have to see, then automatically stability will be more. Say for example, if you have chosen your business in such a locality where there is a continuous demand will be there, then automatically you will have the stability. You can expect the stability at least for long period. After that, anyway, that instability will be there, that kind of uncertainty will be there. So anyway, these are the factors which are going to influence before forming of any organization. Let me give you a recap. The first one is that capital you have to consider, then liability, is it limited or unlimited, then managerial needs, continuity, tax liability, government regulations, nature of business activities, and relationship between owners and management, then easy information, flexibility, stability. So these are all the things you have to consider before forming of the organization. So this will decide that what kind of organization you are doing it. So that's about the introduction chapter of this business organization management. In the coming classes, I'll be talking about each and every topic of sole proprietor, partnership, and every organization, and there are many more topics. Please be in touch. In the description box, lot of links are given. Watch it, which subject, which topic you want. It may be available, use it and share with your friends. So practice well. Wish you good luck.